Terrence Bakes is turning 1 this month, so we're recreating my first recipe. These are my pumpkin cinnamon rolls topped with a maple cream cheese frosting and maple sugar. So we're first going to be working on the dough for the cinnamon rolls, and I have some warm milk. I then have this milk and flour mixture that'll help keep the cinnamon rolls nice and soft. I'm just going to use a whisk to whisk it up. To this dough I'll then add some cold water, and then 3 eggs straight from the fridge. I'm now going to add in the rest of my flour, and we're going to be mixing this on low for about 5 minutes. At this point we're also going to be adding in our instant yeast, and then some pumpkin puree. And I'm adding the yeast now because I forgot to in the previous step. Then I have some sugar and salt that we're adding in. I'm going to continue mixing and adding butter little by little until it's all incorporated together. It's the next day, so now we're going to be working on the filling for our cinnamon rolls. So first I'm going to be adding in some softened butter. And then I have some pumpkin puree, and I removed some of the excess moisture from it, brown sugar. And then I have some spices like cinnamon, nutmeg, and ginger. And I'm also going to be adding in a little bit of black pepper. So this is our dough after chilling in the fridge overnight. I always like working with dough that's chilled in the fridge because it's much easier to work with. Of course, we're going to try our best to keep it in a rectangle shape. So now we can add our filling. And now we'll get this rolled up. So I always use dental floss when I cut these out, and I'm going to try to go for 12 even pieces. And then I'm just going to add them to my prepared parchment fan. So I'm going to cover these rolls, and I'm going to let them rise for about 45 minutes. Alright, so it's been about 45 minutes, so we're going to put these in the oven for a little bit. We'll remove the cover and continue baking for even longer. So while the rolls are cooling, we're going to work on our maple cream cheese frosting. So I have some cream cheese here, and I'm going to be adding in some powdered sugar. And then I have some maple syrup. And then I'll add in some butter. And then finally I have this maple sugar that we're going to be adding on top. Alright, so overall super happy with how these turned out. So now for the best part, I get to eat one. So the dough is incredibly soft, and I like how I worked in the pumpkin and the dough itself, but also the filling as well. And then you're getting bites of the maple from the sugar, but also the cream cheese frosting too. Making these was super fun, especially since it was the very first recipe I ever posted on my newsletter. So whether you've been following me on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Substack, I really appreciate it. This has been a great year for me. I've met a lot of great people, and I think we formed a great community too. Without you all, there would be no Terrence Bakes. I wouldn't have the opportunities that I have today, so I'm really, really appreciative of it. I'm super excited to see where Terrence Bakes goes in the next year, and of course, I'll have the ingredient in the caption and the updated recipe in my newsletter soon.